English verb tenses for Spanish speakers. You will be happy to know that English verb tenses are easy to learn in comparison to Spanish verb tenses. Let's look at the charts below and compare the English with the Spanish. Look first at the present tense. You'll notice that the only verb that changes is in the third person singular, he, she, or it. So, if you were to say in the first person singular, I speak English, the verb stays the same as if you were to say, you speak English. And here's the change in the third person singular. She speaks English. Or Mario speaks English. Okay? We speak English. You, plural, speak English. And they speak English. All right? The only change is in the third person singular. But in Spanish, every person changes. The Spanish word changes. So I would say, yo hablo español. Tú hablas español. Ella habla español. Hablamos español. Vosotros habláis español. And ustedes hablan español. Cada uno es diferente. All right. In the past tense in English, it's even simpler. There is no change to the verb. So you would say, I worked at the store. You worked at the store. She worked at the store. We worked at the store. You all worked at the store. Or they worked at the store. But again, over in Spanish, the verb changes with each person. Trabajé, trabajaste, ella trabajó, trabajamos, trabajasteis, and ellos trabajaron. In the future tense, it is equally simple. The verb stays the same in each person. So you would say, I will live in Colombia. You will live in Colombia. She will live in Colombia. We will live in Colombia. You all will live in Colombia. And they will live in Colombia. But again, over in Spanish, the verb changes for each person. Viviré, vivirás. Ella vivirá, viviremos, viviréis, and ellos vivirán. So the English is really quite simple in the basic present tense, the basic past tense, and the future tense. So it is fairly easy to know how to conjugate verbs in English because the verb remains the same at all times except for the third person singular in the present tense. Let's move on to learning the first English tense in this course, the present tense. But before we do that, I want to show you a photo of a guy who's very, very afraid to learn the English verb tenses. Él tiene mucho miedo. But I know that you are not afraid like him, so all you have to do is click past that photo and move on to the present tense.